He, of course,
Thank you very much.
yeah, he needs no introduction, but Nicolas Winding Refn, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It's my microphone, yes. I think I would love to start with the title, Her Private Hell. There is a 60s exploitation flick by Norman J. Warren. I was wondering if there is a connection there, or if that movie was in your mind at all while making this.
Well, I know of the film, but it was actually because at one point I started collecting cheap paperback books from the 60s that had really exploitive covers. And I saw one where a young woman is looking at herself in the mirror. It said Her Private Hell. And I read a couple of pages, and it was very groovy. And so I thought that's a great title for a movie with that image. So that became it.
Could you maybe give us a little taste of your writing process for this one? It is a very ambitious movie, scope-wise and ideologically and narratively. There are different storylines happening with the women and Charles Melton's character. How did you kind of attack this big, wonderful, beautiful beast with your co-writer?
Well, I had two ideas, and one was Private K wanting to go to hell, and the other one was a young woman coming to a city that didn't exist. But they were very opposite. So to connect them, I went into my archive because I created a monster called Leatherman once, which was like a glam monster. And that became like the end of the triangle. So now there was, and then the theme of father-daughter, I got two daughters, and that was kind of like the foundation. And then Asti had worked for me on a show that I had been creating at HBO that didn't happen. It was Maniac Cop. HBO had a heart attack. So we decided to part ways. But Asti was like the best, staff writer. And once I had the idea, I wanted to work with her again to figure out how we could create like a narrative about it. And it was just hard work. We traveled around, tried many different ways to crack the story. Trial and error. But there are, of course, themes that were very consistent within it, which was, relationships between men and their daughters.
And on that note, I understand that Private K character had a personal meaning for you, and Charles Melton plays him wonderfully. I believe you referred to him as your alter ego in some other interviews previously. So please open that up for us, why this character was so meaningful for you, and why Charles Melton in this role.
When Charles saw the film, when it was completed, called me, and the first thing he said to me, "Nick, it's Charles. My body has never looked so beautiful." So that's a great alter ego. I don't have that. But the character of Kay is obviously in the family of other archetypes that Mads Mikkelsen has played, and Ryan Gosling played him, and Tyra played him. It's a kind of my own version of a superhero. But here he was now going to be like an alter ego of Elle, the Sophie Thatcher character. So, because it's the father she wishes she had. I don't know if there's any fathers here, but it's the kind of father we would want to be, but we'll never be able to live up to. So, but having Charles play him was really great. It was very good.
And tell us a little bit about the female cast. Sophie Thatcher, Kristen Frosset, and Havana Rose Liu all have really classical movie star qualities. but they also have this wonderful chemistry together. They go to some really vulnerable places as an ensemble. How did you kind of help get them to that place? I mean, it's a dark movie, but I can imagine they also had some fun together.
Oh, they were great, and they loved camp, so we had a lot. I love camp, so it was very funny. But we were casting for a year, the casting directors. I think they saw about 10,000 submissions for the girls. And it was very hard to find the one that was going to play Elle, because she was going to lead the whole film. She was going to carry the movie, so everything had to be cast around her. And so very late in the game, early, close to production, I hadn't found anyone, because I had set a date that I wanted to start. Sophie Thatcher came in to meet, and I didn't know her, I hadn't seen her in anything. But it's one of those moments where she walks through the door and I knew exactly it was her. I had that prior certain times where I just see someone and you know it's her. And obviously she did a great audition, but that was beside the book, and she's this amazing performer. And then Havana I had seen multiple times for screen tests, and Christine as well, came much later also. But it was like the triangle between the three of them. And also, they had to kind of see if they wanted to make a movie like this, you know, shooting the way that I do and in order, and obviously be prepared for changes, but also getting, you know, compartments in the creative narrative.
This is the BTRP Media Network.